of the year, Alvin Kamara, fresh off a big performance a week ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They come in just in an absolute free fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man drafted in the 3rd round in 2019 from West Virginia. It's Will Grier.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterback shake-off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
They're trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23.
DJ Moore went through some ups and downs his rookie season, but really came on strong late in the year. Finished with 55 catches, the most among Panthers not named Christian McCaffrey. And now with Devin Funchess gone to Indianapolis, he's going to be the true WR1 for the Panthers.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And the offensive starters for the Panthers.
And what a workhorse is Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the Carolina Panthers, who led his team in rushing and receiving yardage in 2018 and was also the team's leading scorer. How about this? Set an NFL record for catches for a running back with 107. So for an encore, he just wants to get his team back to the playoffs in 2019.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing on 3rd down, Grier. That's caught. It's Jarius Wright. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Grier. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Demario Davis. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. William Hayes, the pride of Winston-Salem State, coming in to drop him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And you can see it, as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile a division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year, and stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South, so look out. That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. To throw, it's Breeze. And brought in by the tight end Cook. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
And this is Cook with the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jared Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Stop your body.
Here's Greer now on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a 1st down as he stopped right around the 29. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. fighting off the defender. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. CD, let's take a step back and look ahead to the Saints in the playoffs here as they get ready for this next drive. Another double-digit win season for them. What do you think of their prospects come playoff time?
I think they're excellent because Drew Brees is back in form. I got to see him late in the season at home against San Francisco, and he's magnificent in that game. Brought them back from down late in the game, gave them a chance to win, put them ahead with less than a minute on the clock, so it wasn't his fault they didn't win that game. He looks like the Drew Brees we expect, but the big reason is their defense. Their defense is as good as there is in the league, rushing the passer, defending against the run, covering everything downfield. Bottom line, though, they are built to win at home in the playoffs. Since Sean Payton's been the head coach, they're 7-4 at home in the playoffs. A lot of people would say, well, it should be 8-3 because of what happened against the Rams last year, but still 7-4. But on the road, just 1-7, and that's excluding the Super Bowl, which was a neutral site game.
And don't forget, good job by Teddy Bridgewater bridging the gap when Brees was out. 5-0. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, this is caught by Gill. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
95-56, 95-56.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Brees, a quick throw out to Thomas. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a first down. Brees now on first down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Brees here finding Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Brees now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Brees now. His pass caught at the 4. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage. They come out 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Jared Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. William Hayes able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start over in Tampa, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Tampa Bay. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. Peyton Barber, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Nick Chubb has a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out trots Jared Cook with the rest of his offensive mates. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to drop coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Now Breeze. And that's incomplete. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has gotten together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check nickel.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Let him know.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Breeze. He's got Smith here. And he gets it down to the 32.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Ready. Yellow lady. 54. Good track.
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your...
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for this.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce them, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
17 there and a New Orleans first down.
Ready? Double waiting.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Ready? 5-9. 54 Mike. All day. All day.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Now Breeze on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty's out.
No, in these types situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Breeze. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They'll run it with Kamara. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker Will Lutz for the field goal attempt. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So a failure there to get rid of the football. I don't know in the end that it's going to matter much here with this game, but it yields another 2 points.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It may not matter a ton with the deficit that's already there, but like my old coach used to say, it sure ain't going to help.
It doesn't help indeed. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Ready? 95-56.
On second down, Camara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Camara. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for New Orleans, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-3. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.